What's up, people? Jeff Logan here, Becoming the Beast Podcast, episode 14. This is another car rant. I'm in the car. It's not a fancy mic setup. I don't have a fancy camera setup or anything. I'm doing these on the fly. Dealing with a lot of stress in my life, but I won't stop podcasting. I won't stop sharing the mindsets with you guys. So basically, the thought that's going through my head right now is just anybody who perceivably gets you upset. And what I want you to think about with that is you're letting them get you upset. You're allowing them to. You understand? It's the same, like you, and this is going to get vulgar. And again, this is an explicit podcast. It's not for children, but at the same time, it is for children because you don't want your children to be naive. By you letting someone fuck with you, it's the same thing of you letting them fuck you, right? Think about the last person that, quote unquote, they made me so mad. Think about it. They made me so mad. Did they make you mad or did you allow them to make you mad? Because if you tell the same issue to someone else, they don't get upset. Why? Because it's not important to them. You know, like our football coach said, there's two types of people. The people that, when it comes to your problems, the people that just do not care about your problems. And the other side that is glad it's not them. The only person that will care is probably your mother. Right? Like, that's just like on average. On average. Granted, you probably have some really close people to you. But on average, when you like tell your problems to the masses, people are just like, damn. You know what I mean? So, like I said, think about the last person who you let. Like I said, I'm here to hold you accountable. I'm here to shift your perspective. And your paradigm is what you ultimately believe. And that's the result you get because you have this paradigm. You have this group of subconscious thoughts that you think on a regular basis. And it triggers your habits. It triggers your habitual way of operation. Your habits do. You know? So when we shift that, you won't operate the same. You're here because you want a different perspective. Some people are here under protest. Some people know it's information they need to hear, but they don't want to think different because it's comfortable. I'm here to make sure you take accountability for your thoughts and your action every single second you're manifesting. Don't manifest by default. If you manifest by default, someone by auto-suggestion, hetero-suggestion, something is going to steer you in the wrong direction. Just how you wouldn't let go of the wheel when you were driving or let someone else control it if you knew the destination you wanted to attain. It's the same thing with thinking, right? And it's the same thing with you letting people fuck with you. So think about the last person you let fuck with you. That got your blood boiling, that got your blood pressure up, that got you angry enough to cuss, sad enough to do this, depressed enough to do this. Did they do it or did you allow them in? Last person you had sex with, hopefully, like willfully, you allowed them to. It's a mutual thing, you know what I mean? So when you start looking at it like that and you stop allowing these people to mentally fuck you, right? Emotionally fuck you, have sex with you. Sorry if I'm being vulgar, but I gotta put it into these plain terms so you can understand me, right? I'm not gonna dance around the truth. So when you start looking at it like that in terms of sexual contact, sexual activity, you're like, whoa, I wouldn't let that person do anything, come near me. So why are you letting their words come near you, right? You know, this is how you overcome things. And if you know something's not true about yourself, the truth doesn't need a loudspeaker and it speaks once. Lies have to be remembered. Lies have to be perpetuated. Lies have to be spread. The truth just, boom. You know what I mean? It's a fact. It's history. It's stuck. You understand? So I'm just here to shift that perspective for when you think, because there's those people, and I was one of those people who thinks the world is against it, right? At one point in my life, you know, I would say at like lower moments, darker moments, where it's like, you know, you feel everything's going wrong, and it will. And if you continue to feel that everything's going wrong, it will, the universe, the law of attraction, everything will bring that to you quicker than you can expect. It'll bring you more and more and more of that. That's what we talked about, channels and frequencies. When you're on the country music channel, you're going to hear more country music artists. Another one. And then you might hear the top country music song in the world because you are on the country music frequency channel of the radio. You know what I mean? So what channel are you on in your life? oh, well, I'm not there yet, then you're going to keep attracting that not there yet. How would you feel if your goal was done, if your plan was done? How would you feel? You would feel damn good. Hold on to that feeling and don't give it away. Don't share it with anybody, because you know why? When you share things, especially with the wrong people, when you share things, you you depower them. You break them up. Think about if you had a cookie. Think about your birthday cake. Last time somebody bought you a birthday cake, and if nobody ever bought you a birthday cake, damn it, go buy yourself one, right? What happens? It's a whole cake, and then you start to sharing it. Now it's done. You can't even read it anymore, right? So it's the same thing with your dream, your goal. Yo, I'm thinking about starting a t-shirt company. Now you just shared it with somebody. You know, and there's a difference between sharing it with somebody and also seeking help. You know what I mean? If you're seeking help, go ahead, go for the juggler, go for the help. Hey, listen, I want you to invest in this t-shirt company. Boom. Oh, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Versus like, I'm thinking about starting a t-shirt line, maybe, I don't know if I want, you know what I mean? It's two different things. But like I said, sometimes when you share things, the people won't give you back what you gave them. You know what I mean? If you're sharing your piece of cake and someone gives you another piece of cake or a better piece of cake, okay, cool. Now you just shared it and it multiplied. But normally speaking, sharing is the division of whatever you are sharing. It's just how it goes. And it's the same thing, sharing yourself, sharing your energy, allowing these people in. Don't let these people mentally fuck you. And then take the mentally out. Don't let these people fuck you. Right? We talked about the sexual energy podcast, keeping your energy for that divine connection. And now you heard that it's a divine connection, so now you can't unhear that. When you learn something, your brain is going to fire in different ways. Different parts of you are going to wake up, right? And you're never the same. Once you see something, you can't unsee it. You understand? Just like think about in a person. Once you see something negative in a person, it's like, whoa. Now you question things that they do. The same thing goes with your life. Allowing people in, allowing people to mess with you, because, you know, certain people you hear, it's everybody else's fault. You were in control of your life, and you have to honor it. You got to honor your life. You got to honor yourself. Treat yourself how the Most High treats you. Treat yourself how you would treat yourself if you were responsible for you, which you are. But a lot of people don't come to realization of that. A lot of people don't know that. Or a lot of people run away from that because there's comfort in just not knowing. There's like, what you don't know doesn't hurt you, they say that, but you can't complain about being in the same position if what you know doesn't hurt you. What you know doesn't hurt you, what you don't know doesn't hurt you, but you want to be in a higher position, right? So you have to think different to attain that, because the way you've been thinking previously is not helping you. It's not helping you level up. New thoughts, think the new thoughts. And once you start to explore the new thoughts, think about that. Right now, you're listening to my voice. You're listening to my voice. You're in the Becoming the Beast podcast. You're listening to my voice. You're not crying right now. You're not angry. You're not punching anything. You're locked in to a frequency, right? So it's the same thing when it comes to anything else. Replace that negative thought with a positive one. And I'm not talking about wishful thinking. I'm not talking about chance. I'm happy. No. I'm talking about getting on that frequency. And when we get on that frequency, we get the senses involved. Taste, touch, smell, all the 5 senses. We get all the sensory factors involved. And if you can't get all of them involved, get the ones you can get involved, right? Because if you think about a material thing, which material things are not bad, because everything you have is a material thing. Even your body is materialized spirit, whether you want to admit to it or not. You don't have to admit to something for it to be true. I gave the example of your biological father, whoever he is, your biological father. You can denounce him. You can divorce your parents. You could do crazy stuff and like whatever. You know, that person could be dead to you. They could have did you wrong, which, you know, it happens. But it still doesn't change the fact that that's your biological father. So you can, you know, skip over or not know or just, you know, ignore certain facts, but it doesn't change them from being fact, right? So you're responsible for yourself. You're responsible for your thoughts. You're responsible for getting on these frequencies. When we think about material things, you can get your senses involved. Everything is a material thing. So why wouldn't you want the best material thing the world has to offer, right? So the best you is the healthiest. I mean, regulated blood pressure, regulated blood sugar, you know, energy, you know, sexually vital. Like just like the best version of you is a material thing, right? You have to work at that. You're responsible for that. Everything you're doing right now, you're sitting in the car, it's all material. It's all the materialization of an idea that was one time inside of something that got brought out. So don't feel bad for wanting better material things. You see how crazy that is? If you talk to somebody with bullshit conditioning and you try to talk to them about a material thing. Oh, no, fancy cars, that's for rich people. Well, did that come from the source of a broke person? Or not even broke. Did that come from the source of a broken person? Broken. Needs to be fixed. Sometimes broke has nothing to do with financial. You understand? So you got to look at the source where your information is coming from. So if someone was to say your goal was crazy and this person just happened to be, a homeless person, on drugs, yelling erratic things on the sidewalk, you necessarily wouldn't honor their thought or opinion. Why? Because of the source it's coming from. But somebody who's in your field that's like, you can't do it, you would be crushed. But both of them are just words. You see that? They're just words, and you gave importance to one. You gave yourself to one. Do you see that? I don't know if you can see it. You gave yourself to one same sentence. You can't do it. The homeless person who's on drugs said, you can't do it. And then the other person who's in the field says, you can't do it. And you gave importance to one. You gave your life to one. You gave your energy to one. You made a decision, which is you just told the trillions and trillions of cells, atoms, like everything in your body that you can't, that person, what they said is true. You see what I mean? It's that placebo effect. Like if you read that book, when they talk about giving people sugar pills and telling them like, oh, this is the most potent, antidote to a cold or to make you feel like this or that. And the people will really start feeling like this or that. They did the same thing with caffeinated coffee versus decaf coffee. Like, hey, this is the most energized, powerful coffee that there is. And it was really decaf, and the people drink it and they go, oh man, I feel amazing. No, you told yourself you did, therefore you started to, right? You told yourself something, oh, this coffee is going to make me have energy. And then you say to yourself, what would energy feel like? I probably would sit up stronger, more straight. I probably would feel like I can do more things. I probably would think about more things to do. And then all that, again, on the frequency. What frequency are you on? What are you giving yourself to? You letting these people mentally fuck you? You letting these people fuck you? Huh? I ain't letting nobody fuck me. You understand? And I want you the same way. And sometimes if it's not broken down on terms like that, you'll keep thinking in the same way you're thinking, the same vibration, and you'll get the same stuff. Think the new thoughts. Think the new thoughts. What are they? So if you can start saying, what are they? Cool, that's one. That's starting. How can I get on the frequency? Because right now, let's say you want something. Okay, let's say you want something material, right? And let's stop using vehicles just for today, right? Because everybody's like, oh, vehicles. It's just so easy for me to use a vehicle manifestation because I've manifested a lot of vehicles in my life, and it's just I know how to do it, right? So let's manifest something material that you didn't think was material, your body. So you're manifesting this body. Man, I want this body. I want this body. I want this body. I want it to feel good. I want to be the best version of my body, right? So what I have now, I want it to be the absolute best version of this by any means, right? So you start to think, how would I feel? What stores would I shop in? Start going in them stores. What are you big? Are you small? I don't care what you want to do. I don't care what your goal is. Some people want to gain muscle mass. Some people want to be shaped like a Coke bottle. Some people want the fattest ass in the game. I don't know what you want, man. I don't care what you want. Whatever you do, start living in that, right? Start living in that end. Start living in that truth. Not the part of you just attaining it. I mean, live in the part where you already got it and you just have it and it's just yours and it's just a fact. It's just history. It's just how it is, right? Think about the last new shiny thing you got. Think about that Christmas that you just wanted something, right? And you got it and it was just so amazing. But now you're an adult or you're a young adult and you already had that shiny bike, that shiny, truck or that dress or that whatever, the Barbie, whatever you like to do. And it just don't matter anymore, right? It's just like, yeah, been there, done that, Think about that. Who is that person? That's a dangerous person. Been there, done that. Body of your dreams, financials of your dreams, relationship of your dreams, right? But with all that, we can't just take. You have to give, right? Sacrifice, price for everything. You have to give the price for that. What would that cost? What would the body of my dreams cost? It's gonna cost these motherfucking Pop-Tarts in the cabinet. I gotta get rid of these. Or I got to restrict these to once a month or something. I'm getting a lot of people, Instagram comments, Instagram DMs, leaving messages on the podcast and reviews and stuff, just saying like, yo, man, it was like cold turkey. I just snapped and flipped my life around. I love those instances, like, because you really can flip your life around instantly. Take inventory. What do I have? Who am I around? Wait, who am I listening to? Whose voice am I talking to myself through? What frequency am I on? Whoa, wait a second. You know what I mean? You're around a bunch of pizza eating motherfuckers, you're gonna be another pizza eating motherfucker. Like, that's just how it go. You're around a bunch of bosses, shoot, you're gonna end up being a boss. It's just how it goes. It's how it goes. Think about where you live, right? Think about where you live and like statistics and everything, and like where the crime-ridden areas are, where like the low income or the whatever. Like, usually the crime is in the low income areas, because I mean, people in higher income areas do higher income crimes. It's just how it goes. Frequency. Don't feel bad about it. Frequency. Change the frequency, and it's on you to change it, right? And I'm gonna keep repeating stuff because, again, this is repetition. We're doing reps. We're doing mental reps, right? This is your mental push-ups right here, and it's mine too. Because a lot of times when I'm talking to myself, and when I talk out loud to myself with no type of like outside interference, it's like sometimes you can come to that answer that you need. Like if you're sitting there with a therapist, like, who does all the talking in therapy? You, you know? Take inventory. It's okay to be alone, to take inventory. I'm not talking about self-isolation, like isolating yourself with the intent of like being upset with people and cutting people off because you hate the world. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about taking a step back. Hey, I'm not gonna go out with y'all tonight. I love y'all, but I ain't gonna go out with y'all tonight. I got some self-work to do. And it's the most rewarding and fun and exciting type of work when you can just build. Take your thoughts and start to build, right? And hold the thoughts there. The general that wins the war has won the war already long before he entered it. The general that has won the war has already won the war long before he entered it. What does that mean? Planning. Y'all did organized sports. I got my ladies in here, my female basketball players, my lacrosse players, hockey people, my males football players, basketball, track and field stars, any sport, firearms, marksmanship, anybody that does a sport. You plan first. You have a game plan. What's the game plan? Ooh, we got to get a game plan now. Game plan. You probably use a game plan minimum once a week, and that game plan is either Google Maps, Waze, for my people who don't got patience, Google Maps or Waze. It's a game plan on how to get to where you're going to go. So what's your Google Maps Waze of life? We're going to go here, we're going to go there, we're going to go here. And also, when you get to going on your journey, you can't see the end destination. Why are you looking for it? Oh man, where that restaurant at, man? I don't even see it yet. And you just started the journey. How the fuck you gonna see it and you just started on the road? And that self-realization about where you are and where you're going. Because what does the first thing do when you open up the Google Maps? It shows you where you are. And you type something, sushi, home improvement, lawn care, then it branches out. Oh, that's over here, and this is where you are, and this is how you get from A to B. So in life, where are you? There's a bit of delusion when it comes to thinking outside the box, attracting things to yourself. There's a bit of it, yeah, but it's controlled delusion, man. It's delusion with a purpose versus normal delusion. Normal delusion is I'm the best of the best of the best, and you have nothing to prove it. It's like, all right, bro, like you a big bag of wind. Like you ain't really saying nothing. But when you say I'm the best of the best in whatever I do, and then you start doing things that attracts that, you start, exercising your sensory factors that attract what is the best of the best. Like way back when, and everything is like this. It doesn't matter how big or how small. Way back when, like last night I was at the grocery store, and I was in there like too late. Like they closed at 9. I crept in there like 8:55. I needed some spring water. Boy was needed some water. But I hopped in there, and the lady, she's like, "Oh, you gotta exit out this way, sir." And they were real nice about it because I was in there like 9:02, whatever. And I'm like, "Oh, you trying to lock me back in here? Like, trying to get me to work for y'all?" And she started laughing, and I was like, "You reminded me of my first job," and my first job was or one of my first jobs, I'll say one of my first like structured 9-to-5s on a payroll was Wegmans in Rochester, New York. Shout out to Wegmans. Shout out to Rochester, New York. Any of my Rochesterians in here, stand up. Anybody from the 585 from upstate New York. Monroe County, a.k.a. Gunroe County. If you're from there, shout out to you. That's where I'm from, right? So working at Wegmans, like, you know, the lady was showing us the ropes the first day we were in training, you know, and she's showing us, she's like, oh, you got to get your IPM. I'm like, what's IPM? She's like, items per minute. Like, how fast do you scan each item? And I'm like, I was like, who got the fastest? Like, oh, she got the fastest at, like, I don't know. It was like this lady had this crazy IPM. I mean, just like flawless. So what I try to do, I try to match her IPM, and I'm breaking people's yogurts. I'm bagging, you know, bleach with the meat, and like just doing all the cashier no-nos, right? I wanted to be better in that. I wanted my IPM to be the highest in Wegmans. You understand? Like when I was 16 years old. No, I was 15 because I wasn't driving yet. I was 15. Yeah, I was 15 years old, getting dropped off, working my first job, and they restricted you, and I was so upset. I'm like, why did they restrict you? They're like, dog, it's child labor laws, man. You got to chill out. You only could work here 3 days a week. And I'm like, man, what if I want to work more? Well, can I go get another job? They're like, no. Like, this ambition is deep-rooted, bro. Like, I understand it's refined now and I get to share, but like this ambition is deep-rooted, man. Trust me. But you can see something as little as scanning groceries. If you just go try to match someone else's speed who's been doing it for longer than you, and you have no respect for the fucking process, and you start to try to scan groceries as fast as this fucking vet motherfucker, you're going to break some yogurts, and you're going to bag some bleach with the meat, and the bleach might get in the meat, right? So respect the journey. Where are you? If you could do something slow to perfection, you can speed up. You can speed up. You can speed up. You can speed up. It's the progression of a child walking. My beautiful children. I remember each of their moments walking, you know, and Damien, now he runs, jumps, lands, rolls. Like it's a whole theatrical, you know, act at this point. But you start out crawling. And when you hear that, that's not to put you down or say, oh, I'm so far away from everything. Again, that's a thought on a frequency you don't need to be on. Any negative thought is a thought from a frequency you don't need to be on. So get off that frequency immediately. I got a list. Like, I don't know what y'all think. You think you see a blue check and it's all fun and games? Somebody was on my YouTube like, oh man, you got the perfect life watching them vlog. I said, dog, this is a glimpse of my life. This is just a glimpse of what I do. You know what I mean? Nothing's faked, but I mean, there's more stress that I don't care to talk about. That ain't nobody's business, but it ain't perfect. Like I said, I have a list. I call it secret shifters, right? Secret shifters. And it shifts your thoughts. I have really, really amazing things on that list. My sons are number one. This is the fact. My sons are before the fact that I'm even alive, right? My sons are number one. My sons are number one. I think about joyous times with them. I might write down a really funny moment because kids, like, laughter around a kid. Kids do the funniest things ever. Like you want to learn something about life. Get around a child, you know, because they're just so carefree. Imagine if you was that carefree with that youthful carefreeness, if that's even a phrase, right? And I got this list of shifters. Okay, your goals coming to you. Boom. Your sons. The fact that you're breathing. The fact that you're vital. You're alive. You're well. The fact that, oh, remember this time you've been through something and you felt like that was the end and you got over that obstacle? Cool. Because guess what? You ain't going to do shit focusing on the obstacles. Sometimes you might be focused on the obstacle, this big brick wall up. Oh my gosh, it's taller than me. How am I going to get past this obstacle? Oh my goodness, you're looking at the obstacle. You didn't even go test it. What if them bricks made out of cotton candy? You run through the shit. You know what I mean? Like, things aren't always as they appear. But you are stronger than you think. And once you're on that frequency, you stop letting people fuck with you, and you take responsibility for your thoughts, actions, habits, life, everything changes. Everything changes. Love yourself. You deserve wealth. You deserve happiness. You deserve love. But you also have to work for these things. You deserve everything you're willing to pay for. Get your senses involved. Become. Become.